We need to hurry.
Yes, we're going to be late.
I think we are already late. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Abdullah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Quick. Take a seat. Okay, today's lesson is going to be about
The Muslim Kids Show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry about that, guys. Something went wrong, but that's the beauty of going live. Anything could happen. Anything can happen. So apologies for that, guys. You probably all panicking what you think, oh, where's he gone? Come back, we missed you. But don't worry. Inshallah, everything's going to be okay from there. I was trying to thank Mariam, who did a fantastic job, awesome job as usual, because at the end of the day, you know, it is very important that we think about history, we think about those who came before us, and how we received what they've given us, and how we are then going to go on and then spread the beautiful message of Islam. Think about how Islam traveled to your country, to the country of my parents, which is Jamaica, how it is growing there, how it's all over the world because of that continuous momentum. It's really awesome, alhamdulillah. Right, guys, guess what time it be? It's that competition time! This month's amazing prizes is a fabulous PlayStation 5 and a BMX bike. Remember, you must be a member of the Muslim Kid Show to send your answers and claim your prizes. So be sure to visit themuslimkidshow.com, sign up and claim your prizes now. And if you've got a piece of paper or something, by all means, you need to then write it down, because I'm going to tell you what the email is. It is going to be tmks.club@gmail.com. tmks.club@gmail.com. Send those answers in, guys. It's so easy. It's almost embarrassing. Right, we're going to quickly go to our next feature before any more gremlins come around. Okay, we're going to go into our feature with Brother Wasim Khan, inshallah. He's going to be talking about the prophets. He's going to talk about Suleiman, and he's going to talk about Musa. So check this out.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back to another episode of the Muslim Kids Show, and this is your host Wasim Khan. Today we're going to talk about the son of a very famous prophet, and we discussed and talked about this prophet in the last episode. Do you know who this could be? Which prophet is the son of another prophet? Today we're talking about Suleiman alayhi salam, and he was the son of none other than Dawood alayhi salam. Dawood alayhi salam we have covered. Today we are going to be talking about Suleiman alayhi salam, another prophet that was sent to Bani Israel. Many of the prophets were sent to Bani Israel, and Suleiman alayhi salam was another prophet who was again sent by Allah, but also gifted with amazing powers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had gifted him with. And there is something that we need to learn from this, that if we ever need anything, we should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will always shower us with His gifts and all the amazing things that we can use to our advantage in our lives. So what was Suleiman alayhi salam gifted with? He was gifted with the ability to control the wind and the weather, and also the ability to listen to creatures such as ants and other animals, and also the ability to control the jinn. Oh, did I scare you there by saying jinn? Yes, he was given the opportunity or the ability to control the jinn, and he would control the jinn, and he would make sure that they worked hard. So Suleiman alayhi salam, he had such a big kingdom that many people feared, and all he would do was invite people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And Suleiman alayhi salam lived a very long life, and he was a very popular king who would look after all the people, and he would control them, and he would rule over them with justice and with the best of manners. Until one day, Suleiman alayhi salam, as he was overlooking the jinn whilst they were working, and they didn't really like to work for Suleiman alayhi salam because he really made them work hard. As he was leaning on his staff and overlooking them, Allah decreed that Suleiman alayhi salam should return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as he was looking and telling them that you should work like this and work like that. He was resting on his staff, on his stick. The angel of death came and it took the soul of Sulaiman alayhi salam. And all the jinn could see was Sulaiman still resting on his staff, on his stick. And they thought maybe he's sleeping, maybe he's just watching us. Until a tiny insect came and it began to chew the stick, and the stick broke and the lifeless body of Sulaiman alayhi salam toppled over. Then they realized that Sulaiman alayhi salam had passed away. So a lesson that we need to learn from this is that jinn do not really possess these powers that we are told that they do, and we all get scared of jinn. In fact, they didn't even know that Sulaiman alayhi salam had passed away. So they only realized when the tiny insect began to chew away and gnaw away at the stick, that when the stick broke and Sulaiman fell over, then they realized that Sulaiman alayhi salam had passed away, and then they went. They were happy. So I hope you've enjoyed today's very short story about Sulaiman alayhi salam, a very inspirational prophet, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Muslim Kids Show. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Muslim Kids Show.
That was beautiful as usual. We've got another one of his videos in a second or two, so stick around. But before we do that, we want to remind you about these amazing prizes. Here we go. This month's amazing prizes is a fabulous PlayStation 5 and a BMX bike. Remember, you must be a member of the Muslim Kids Show to send your answers and claim your prizes. So be sure to visit themuslimkidshow.com, sign up and claim your prizes now. There you go, awesome prizes. Let me remind you of what the competition is, guys. All you have to do, I should almost sing, all you have to do is tell us what are the 5 pillars of Islam, okay? What are the 5 pillars of Islam, okay? That's the competition. And if you know the answer, send it to this email address, tmks.club@gmail.com. Woo! All right, do that, guys. Right, guys, we're going to go for another one of our lovely videos by Brother Wasim, all about Moses Musa.
The Muslim Kids Show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is your brother Wasim Khan, and welcome again to another episode of the Muslim Kids Show. Today we're going to be talking about another prophet. A prophet who's been mentioned over 120 times in the Quran. Do you know who this prophet could be? Yes, we're talking about none other than Musa alayhi salam, one of the 6 main prophets in Islam. Do you know who the other 5 are? I'll give you a second to think. You have Adam alayhi salam, you have Nuh alayhi salam, you have Ibrahim alayhi salam, you have Isa alayhi salam, and you have Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Those are the other 5 great prophets. So let's get going with Musa alayhi salam. Who was Musa alayhi salam? He was a prophet that was born at a very, very difficult time, where there was a man who was called Fir'aun, and he was the ruler of the time, and he was told by his fortune tellers and sorcerers that there will be a child who will be born, who will grow up to eventually one day take over from Fir'aun. Now he became very, very upset, and he told all his soldiers to go out and kill any newborn baby boy. And this was exactly the same time that Musa alayhi salam was born. So Musa alayhi salam's mother, she began to get really, really scared. And what did she do? She placed Musa alayhi salam into a basket, and she allowed Musa alayhi salam to go wherever the river took him, putting her trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And guess where the basket containing Musa alayhi salam ends up? It ends up at the palace of Fir'aun. And lo and behold, Fir'aun takes the baby Musa alayhi salam and he raises him up in his own house. The story continues as Musa alayhi salam, as he grows older, he becomes a wise man, and due to one incident that takes place, which results in one person losing their life, Musa alayhi salam is forced to flee. He's forced to run away because Pharaoh and his army or his soldiers are looking for Musa alayhi salam because they have been told that he was responsible for what took place. So Musa alayhi salam, he lives away as he's getting older. He lives away from the place that he grew up. And he gets married. And on one day, whilst he's with his family, he sees a burning fire. And he says to his wife, maybe there is something for us to go and get to keep us warm as well from this fire. So let me go and see near this mountain what I can do. Maybe there are some people living there. Maybe I can get something from that fire. But Musa alayhi salam did not know that he was shortly going to be going to a place where he would be speaking with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where he will be having a conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as Musa alayhi salam goes, he is told to take off his shoes because now he's entering a place which is sacred, which is blessed. He takes off his shoes and he walks forward, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins to speak with Musa alayhi salam. Allah begins to tell Musa alayhi salam that you are now on a mission where you have to go to Fir'aun and you have to tell him to release Bani Israel, release the children of Israel and allow them to go with you so that they can serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the new place that they are going to go and dwell in. So Musa alayhi salam is then given some miracles as well on this journey, and he goes to the court of Fir'aun with his brother Harun alayhi salam. Can you imagine how he must have felt standing in front of Fir'aun, the leader of a big kingdom at that time? And he was not a nice person. He was a person who was known to be wicked and evil. So Musa alayhi salam, he goes to him, and over the course of many days and weeks, he keeps telling him in the best manners to release Bani Israel, or else the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come unto you. But Fir'aun, being a person who was very, very arrogant, what does he do? He says, I will never ever release these people of mine. They are my slaves, they are my servants, I will do as I please. So one day, Musa alayhi salam, he takes an opportunity that has presented itself to him, where he gathers all of Bani Israel and he says, let's go, Allah is going to protect us, let us go and let's leave Fir'aun. The people leave in the middle of the night. Pharaoh finds out. He gathers his army and they begin to chase Musa alayhi salam and Bani Israel, until Musa alayhi salam, he comes to a crossing where there is a big river. The Bani Israel, they become scared. They said, what's going to happen to us now? What is going to happen to us now? And then Musa alayhi salam, he strikes the staff onto the river, and with the permission of Allah, the river parts, leaving a passage in the middle where Musa alayhi salam and Bani Israel, they cross. And as they are crossing, the army of Fir'aun arrives and it sees what's going on, and they take their chariots and their horses and all their soldiers into the sea as well, into the river. And what happens? The river takes, the water swallows, drowns, kills all of the army of Fir'aun. Musa alayhi salam takes his people, and he, after many months, he passes away. After many years, he passes away, leaving behind Bani Israel to continue on their journey, praying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send them another prophet. I hope you've enjoyed the story of Musa alayhi salam. Next time we'll be talking about another prophet. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Once again, Wasim, thank you so much. Always, always a pleasure hearing anything from that brother because he's so filled with knowledge. And again, you know, he's talking about the past. He's talking about Moses, also known as Musa, a very, very important prophet in 3 world religions. So a very, very, very figure there in history. Right, guys, I want to remind you about the competition, okay? Just in case you missed it before, maybe you're out doing something, I don't know. But this is what you have to do. You have to tell me what is the 5 pillars of Islam, okay? What is the 5 pillars of Islam? You must be a subscriber on our website, themuslimkidshow.com, themuslimkidshow.com. Go over there, subscribe, and then you'll be able to be in the line, if you like, to actually win those crazy prizes, which are absolutely fantastic. Right, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the hadith of the day. The hadith of the day is going to be, or the week if you like, is about Insha'Allah. Insha'Allah means God willing, okay? Muslims are taught to say God willing whenever they're about to do something, if they're planning something, okay? Because then it really puts things into perspective. You realize that we are here and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control. So it always happens by His will, okay? So we say, Insha'Allah. And sometimes, you know, when you do things at school, you sort of, oh, I'm going to do this. And you know, you sort of kick off a little bit, right? But all the things that we do, which are a bit naughty sometimes, is always by Allah's will. But those good things that we do, if we say, Insha'Allah, then Allah, you see, Allah is then put in like His blessings over it for us, inshallah. So that's the most important thing, saying inshallah. Think about different ways that you can use inshallah. Inshallah, I'm going to go to the shop. Inshallah, I'm going to do well in my exam. Inshallah, I'm going to watch the Muslim. Yeah, it was like inshallah, right? Inshallah, I'm going to be like a technician, a scientist, whatever the case is, whatever you want to do. It's a good way of kind of just giving that blessings, extra blessings on top of it. Because we do so much, we strive, we struggle, we study, we try to get exams done, we try to be good people, but it's with the will of Allah. So whatever we can do to bring that blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us by saying inshallah, because really we're just giving up our fate to Him. We're saying, look, Allah, you know best. You know better than we know, and we are going to trust you. So whenever we say inshallah, 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 God willing, God willing, God willing, that really gives us that position that we know, yes, Allah is in control. Because sometimes you want to do something or you say inshallah and it doesn't go your way. Many, many, many times it doesn't go your way. But we have to remember Allah is very, very wise. He's the one that is in control, and He's the one that knows what's good for us, what's bad for us. Many things we want to do, you know, we think is really good, really cool, and it might not be good for us. It might not be that good for us, but we still want it because like, oh, we still want it, we still want it, right? But that's the main point. Right, so, okay, just to remind you guys, we're going to go for a quick break, right? And we're going to go for a down break as well, I think, as well. But when we get back, guys, this competition, this is the big one where you guys get an opportunity to call in. I've got my box of questions here, so don't worry, I got it covered. But are you guys ready? We are going to give you the telephone number right here somewhere. Right, make a note of that number, guys, because when the people start calling in, it's gonna get hot, it's gonna get busy, it's gonna get frantic. Okay, so make sure you guys take a note of that number. When we get back from the break, inshallah, we're gonna start the competition. Assalamu alaikum.
We need to hurry.
Yes, we're going to be late.
I think we are already late. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Abdullah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Quick. Take a seat. Okay, today's lesson is going to be about
The Muslim Kids Show.